Have you ever imagined that a simple photo shoot could turn into a nightmare? In 1995, Linda Sobek, a promising model and former Lakers cheerleader, accepted a last-minute job that would change her fate forever. What happened on that fateful day? Why did a respected photographer become the prime suspect? And how was a tiny detail found in a trash can miles away crucial to unraveling this mystery? Prepare yourself for a story that goes beyond appearances and reveals the hidden dangers behind the lens. Stay until the end to discover the shocking twist that no one expected. Linda Sobek was born on July 9, 1968, in San Diego, California. In childhood, she was a tomboy who loved playing outdoors, contrasting with her future as a model. Despite this, her natural beauty already stood out. In her teens, her mother Elaine noticed her potential and initiated a gradual transformation, guiding Linda through the world of fashion and beauty. This change was both aesthetic and a journey of self-discovery for Linda. In 1989, Linda became a cheerleader for the Los Angeles Lakers, winning a competitive audition. This achievement marked a turning point in her life, bringing visibility and opportunities in the entertainment world. She began attending exclusive events and attracting the attention of brands and magazines. Her success as a cheerleader boosted her modeling career. Linda took every opportunity to expand her network and improve her skills. In 1992 to 1993, Linda met Charles Rathbun, an automotive photographer, during an exhibition in Los Angeles. This professional encounter planted the seeds for a future collaboration, unaware of the tragic consequences that would follow. On the morning of November 16, 1995, Linda was preparing for an important audition when she received a call from Rathbun proposing a last-minute photo shoot. She accepted, planning to do the job before the audition. Linda left confidently, not suspecting that this decision would drastically change the course of her life. When Linda didn't return or show up for the audition, her family became alarmed. Her absence and lack of communication were completely atypical, initiating a desperate search for answers. Worried, the Sobeks began a frantic search. They contacted friends, colleagues, and all the places Linda used to frequent, but no one had information about her whereabouts. Linda's absence from the Fox TV series audition was particularly alarming, given how much she valued professional opportunities. After 24 agonizing hours without news, Linda's parents made the painful decision to report her disappearance to the Hermosa Beach police. News of the disappearance of a known model spread quickly, catalyzing a large-scale investigation. The authorities, recognizing the gravity of the situation, mobilized significant resources. Linda's fame as a former Lakers cheerleader raised the profile of the case, attracting intense media coverage. Posters with Linda's photo began to appear throughout Los Angeles, and appeals for information were made on all news broadcasts. The Sobek family, determined to leave no stone unturned, printed over 50,000 posters offering a substantial reward of $20,000 for any information leading to Linda. Friends, colleagues, and even strangers united to distribute these posters, transforming the search into a community effort. As the investigation unfolded, detectives faced the challenge of tracking Linda's movements in a city of 3.5 million inhabitants. The only concrete clue was Linda's mention of a last-minute photo shoot, but without details about the location or the photographer involved. As days passed without news, the Sobek family's anxiety grew. Linda's disappearance was not just a police case. It became a story that captured the attention and heart of an entire city, united in the hope of finding the missing young model. After days of fruitless searches, a turning point emerged in Linda Sobek's case. On November 21st, 5 days after her disappearance, the police received a crucial call from a resident near Angeles National Park, located more than 55 kilometers from Linda's residence. This citizen, who was doing voluntary cleaning in the park, reported having found photographs of an attractive young woman in a trash can 2 days earlier. Initially, he didn't make the connection, but upon watching the news about Linda's disappearance, he recognized her in the photos and immediately contacted the authorities. Acting quickly, investigators headed to the location before the trash was collected. A thorough search revealed significant items: photos from Linda's portfolio, her personal diary, and crucially, a rental contract for an SUV. This contract became the most promising lead so far. It was a Lexus prototype, a model so new that only 2 examples existed, making it easy to track. A true task force was then mobilized, including family, friends, volunteers, and even small planes, to scour the entire park area. The joint effort resulted in more discoveries. About 9 kilometers from the initial site, Linda's makeup bag and a pair of black socks were found, items she used to take to photo shoots. Forensic analysis of these objects revealed crucial information. The name Charles R.B. appeared on both the car rental contract and Linda's diary. This coincidence did not go unnoticed by investigators, who now had a concrete name to follow. These discoveries, though disturbing, provided authorities with tangible directions for the investigation. What began as an almost clueless search now had a clear focus, centering on the figure of Charles R.B. and the events that could have led Linda's belongings to such a remote and unexpected location. With Charles Rathbun identified as the main suspect, the investigation entered a new phase. On November 22nd, Linda's car was found in a parking lot in Torrance, California, near her residence. While forensics examined the vehicle, investigators received an unexpected call from Charles himself. Rathbun claimed to have met Linda on the morning of the 9th, reviewed her portfolio, and then gone separate ways. This late statement immediately raised suspicions among detectives. Soon after, Charles called friends, threatening to take his own life. The situation escalated quickly when Charles's friends arrived at his apartment. In an attempt to disarm him, an accidental discharge occurred, injuring one of the friends in the arm. The police were called, resulting in Charles's arrest. Completely drunk and emotionally unstable, Charles had written several farewell notes, mentioning that something terrible had happened. Seizing the opportunity, investigators interrogated him about Linda's disappearance. Initially, Charles confessed a version of events that seemed like a tragic accident. He claimed that during the photo shoot for the new Lexus prototype, he asked Linda to demonstrate a maneuver. Upon taking the wheel, Charles said he lost control, hitting and killing Linda instantly. In panic, he allegedly buried the body in a shallow grave and fled. The police initially considered this version plausible, given Charles's apparent sincerity and emotional disturbance. He agreed to take authorities to the alleged burial site, but seemed uncertain about the exact location. Searches at various points indicated by him produced no results. An investigator warned about the urgency of finding the body before advanced decomposition compromised the evidence. At this point, Charles seemed to become apprehensive and ceased his cooperation, returning to the police station without revealing Linda's whereabouts. This sudden change in behavior, from cooperative to reticent, raised serious doubts about the veracity of his story, leading investigators to deepen their investigation into Charles's past and the events of that fateful day. The discovery of Linda Sobek's body marked a grim turning point in the investigation. After a failed suicide attempt in prison, Charles Rathbun, accompanied by his lawyer, finally agreed to reveal the body's location. A helicopter transported him to the site where, after excavations, Linda's remains were found in a shallow grave. The Sobek family, devastated by the news, couldn't gather the strength to identify the body at the medical examiner's office. A close neighbor, who had known Linda for years, took on this painful task. Surprisingly, despite more than a week having passed, Linda's body was relatively well preserved, protected from natural elements by the grave's location. The autopsy revealed shocking details that contradicted Rathbun's initial version of a car accident. There were no signs of impact consistent with being hit by a car. Instead, the forensic examination indicated that Linda had been tied up, subjected to sexual abuse, and killed by strangulation. The toxicological analysis detected a blood alcohol level of 0.13%, significantly above the legal limit for driving in the U.S., which is 0.8%. Confronted with this evidence, Rathbun altered his story. He now claimed that Linda had voluntarily consumed tequila during the photo shoot, becoming drunk and making advances towards him. According to his new version, they had consensual relations before the photo session. Rathbun insisted that the car accident really occurred, but that Linda didn't die immediately. He claimed he put her in the car to seek help, but she allegedly became hysterical due to facial injuries that would compromise her career. In an attempt to control her, he admitted to accidentally suffocating her. These revelations, combined with the physical evidence found, including torn socks and an earring violently ripped off, painted a much more sinister picture than the accident initially described by Rathbun. The brutality of the facts shocked not only the investigators, but the entire community following the case, revealing the true nature of the crime committed against Linda Sobek. In October 1996, Charles Rathbun faced justice in the trial for Linda Sobek's murder. The courtroom became the stage for a battle between Rathbun's fantastical version and the compelling evidence presented by the prosecution. Rathbun's defense tried to sustain his narrative of a consensual encounter followed by a tragic accident. Charles's brother presented 5 rolls of film supposedly from the photo session with Linda in an attempt to corroborate the accused's version. However, the forensic analysis of the photos revealed crucial inconsistencies. The images showed Linda in uncharacteristic poses, appearing uncomfortable and distant. Details such as torn socks, unusual in a professional session, raised more suspicions. Moreover, some sensual photos presented as being of Linda didn't show her face, and the car logo visible in the images didn't match the vehicle used on the day of the crime. These discrepancies severely undermined the defense's credibility. The prosecution, in turn, built a solid case based on forensic evidence and the reconstruction of events. They argued that Rathbun had premeditated the crime, choosing an isolated location and bringing materials that were later used in the attack. Prosecutors demonstrated how Rathbun forced Linda to consume alcohol, sexually abused her, and subsequently strangled her. The violence of the attack was evidenced by details such as the ripped-off earring, indicating that Linda fought fiercely for her life. The jury didn't take long to reach a verdict. Charles Rathbun was found guilty of first-degree murder and sexual assault. The sentence handed down was the most severe possible: life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This judicial outcome marked the end of a case that shocked the entertainment industry and society in general. Rathbun's conviction not only provided a measure of justice for Linda Sobek and her family, but also exposed the hidden dangers that can exist in the seemingly glamorous world of fashion and photography. Currently, according to California prison records, Charles Rathbun continues to serve his sentence, approaching 70 years of age. The case of Linda Sobek remains a grim reminder of the risks faced by models and the importance of vigilance and safety in the entertainment industry. If Linda Sobek's story touched you, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Your participation helps us continue to bring important cases like this, honoring the memory of victims and raising awareness among more people. What did you find most impactful in this case? Share your thoughts below. Your voice is important to our community. Until the next video.